Hey guys, what's up? James here, Sports Betting Education Channel. Real quick, just so everyone knows, my full name is Cody James Dunlap. You can look me up. I won a TV show on MTV when I was 22 years old. I'm 25 now, about to turn 26. I'm not hiding from anything. I'm not hiding anything on this page, and I think people that do that are shady, and you obviously shouldn't trust their advice. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because, I understand that y'all don't understand this, but when you get on a reality TV show and win and dominate and you're a big character presence, you can't just go from an MTV show to a CBS show to a Fox show. And a lot of the cool shows that I'm applying for now in my mid to late 20s are on other networks. So what happens is I'll apply. They love me. I'm great on camera, of course. I have a great personality. I'm good looking. And they want to put me on their show. And then last minute, they'll look me up and they'll say, oh, dude, you've already won a show back, a few years ago. Look, we can't have you. I don't hear anything from them again. So I've been applying as James. When I apply as James, I don't run into that problem. However, I run into the problem of, where's your social media, dude? So my James Dunlap social media is this YouTube channel and the Instagram page. Now, I can't be saying this every video, or else when they search my social media, they'll see it. But odds are they're not going to watch this specific video, and I might explain this on Instagram too. It's going to look like, James Dunlap is what I actually go by. But when I walk around on the streets, if you guys see me on the streets, you can call me Cody. You can say James. I don't really care, but I do go by Cody in real life. That's my first name. James is my middle name. So now that that's addressed, hopefully it's not an issue. And if you see people hating on it, really, that's probably just other services just trying to bring me down. So if you could explain to them, that way people that scroll by, kind of get filled in and I don't have to re-explain it 1,000 times, that'd be awesome. So now that we've wasted 2 minutes, we didn't waste it because we really needed to address that. But now that we've talked about that, look, we're coming off a 3-in-1 day. We had 3 no-sweat winners, including our free play yesterday. And then we had a fourth, what looked to be a no-sweat winner. We went into the 9th inning, a Dodgers -1.5, Dodgers run line, and they were up 5 runs. Yeah, they're up 5 runs. Ultimately, they gave up 4 runs in the top of the 9th. They won the game by 1, and we lost the play. So what I wanted to really touch on here real quick before we get into today's free play is the emotional sides of sports betting, right? We had a perfect day, really. Perfect day of handicapping. The research I had put in, 2 nights ago and then yesterday morning, obviously effective, right? 3 no-sweat winners and then 1, just unfortunate loser where we barely lost. You have to walk out of that day holding your head up high, but ultimately you have to walk out of that day just like you walked out of an 0-4 day, a 1-3 day. The way I'm approaching today, June 21st, is the same way I approached coming off of 1-3, coming off of 4-0. And that's so huge, guys. And the way that you do that is you risk smaller amounts, and you just have to find a way to stay emotionless. I mean, honestly, it's human nature to be pretty frustrated. And I was a little bit, of course, last night. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I was disappointed. But look, here's what we learned from that. The Dodgers run line, it might be something to try to stay away from. And the way you do that is, even though you have to pay more to bet on teams on the money line, you have to understand there's more value, because there's a lot of ways a team can lose or win by 1 run. There's a lot of ways where teams can lose by 1 run and not necessarily dominate the game. What happened in that game last night was the Dodgers wanted to get some of their lesser relief pitchers some experience, and they had a good cushion, so they didn't throw out Kenley Jansen. They could have, and they could have easily just won that game by 5 runs, but they didn't. So it didn't mean anything to the Dodgers last night to win that game by 2 runs. They were happy winning by 1. Meanwhile, we're sitting over here watching them blow our money line bet, and it's frustrating. So my solution for that, a lot of times when you're betting on the home team, when they're batting the bottom half to win by 2, I kind of like to go for the first half run line, because a team's always going to be trying to add runs to their total in the 5th inning, and there's no situation where you're betting on a team that's going to get 1 less inning of batting than the opposition. So, for example, last night the Dodgers won by 1 run, but they only got to hit 8 times. They only needed to hit 8 times to win the game, right? So those are some ways that you can kind of avoid that. And then on the flip side, maybe you find value on a team that you think potentially could lose by 1 run, but they're the home team. So maybe you think, hey, they're about even with this team, but if they lose by 1 run, they're getting 9 innings versus a team getting 8. So hitting, obviously. So there's a lot of pro sports bettors that don't even watch games too. They actually value, in my opinion, I think watching games helps me. But a lot of people will actually argue that it's more important to be emotionless, and the way you do that is just check the box score after the game. You don't even watch the game, you don't sweat it out. And those are people that are really in it to make money and to win. And even if you're doing it to have fun, it is a lot more fun when you win. So if you're handicapping your own games, might be something to consider. I personally, that's a little too intense for me, and I also feel like I have self-control where I'm going to come into today and that losing that bet last night isn't going to affect me in any way. It's going to affect me in a positive way because I watched the game and I watched how, things went down. I watched how they got to that final score. Anyways, free play today. We're going to Cleveland, back to Trevor Bauer. Deja vu. He's pitching against the Detroit Tigers again. Last time we were on him. We saw that coming. I talked about how he had a couple bad performances, and that's really what made his ERA look a little less great than he's actually been pitching recently. Well, he's been pitching even better recently because he pitched a 4-hit shutout, complete game shutout against this Tigers team just a week ago. Obviously, I like his chances to repeat that. They're not going to have high confidence going against him. He just crushed them for 9 straight innings. And besides that, I think the Indians are the better team. So I think there's tremendous value on the money line here. It's minus 200 juice. I think that's the play. And I think you should bet, minus 200. You can decide. Do you want to be someone who risks enough money to win one unit every game? Or do you want to be someone who bets the same amount every game and you just take the win there? But the free play, because I know a lot of people don't like to, the free plays and the record to be inflated because of high juice plays. Free play will go on the full game run line. So hopefully what happened last night doesn't happen again. But I have confidence in the Indians, and I really think that the Tigers pitching Matt Boyd, he's gone a couple shutout starts where he pitches 5 or 6 innings, giving up no earned runs. So if that happens today, I still like the Indians' chances to bounce back and get some runs on that weak Detroit bullpen. So I'm taking the full game. I think Bauer's going to last longer than Boyd, and I think Bauer's going to outpitch him. I think the Cleveland Indians will be winning after 5 innings. I think they'll be winning after 9 innings, and I think they'll win comfortably. I'm expecting a no-sweat winner again here, guys, on the free play. Cleveland Indians run line. So that's Cleveland minus 1.5 runs. That's your free play. Thank you for watching this video. Thanks for supporting the channel over here. And I look forward to interacting with you guys on Instagram today.